let's get into this matchup then. So we've got reigning world champions against reigning Euro champions. Ian, the biggest storyline I think going into this one is Lamine Yamal versus Messi. The first time they've ever been on the pitch together, but we did see them 19 years ago in that famous photo shoot. What's at stake for these two superstars today, Ian?
Yeah, what a great question. What an epic photograph that was as well. Obviously, all the stories coming out will be about Lionel Messi. It looks like he's going to be the oldest player to compete in a World Cup final. Obviously, what he's achieved already for the beautiful game is something special, something unique. He's an absolute genius, and he lives for the big occasion. But then you've got this joker in the pack for Spain. Okay, tactically, they're a little bit more defensive-minded, and okay, it's not been his best World Cup, but he's still on the field, and he can still have an impact. And with the quality that he has, I mean, this photo's absolutely epic,
phenomenal, man.
Who would have thought that that would have happened, that they would have ended up in a World Cup final? I love Lionel Messi's response, obviously, to that photograph as well. You know, how crazy it was, and the photographer also talked about it. It's truly special. But Lamine Yamal looks like, obviously, he's going to be the third youngest to compete in a final. But this is his moment, right? This is where you can really showcase to the world how good you are. He did so in the Euros, but now this is the world stage. This is your moment to shine. When everyone's looking at Lionel Messi being the main character in this storyline, I've got a feeling that Amin's got something to say about it.
He had the time to build up to this moment, because he came into this tournament unfit. He was recovering, so it's taken him time, and you can easily get out of rhythm. It feels like he knows the pressure's on it, but he's one of those players that he loves the pressure. Oh, yeah. He loves the spotlight. He's outspoken. He's like, this is Spain. This is who we are. We're not fearing anyone, and Rodri has doubled down on that as well. Yep. But you talked about defensive masterclass and how Spain plays. Well, it's actually with the ball. They're not defending throughout the game.
They've been a bit more offensive, haven't they? Even though they're defensive, they've been offensive more so.
They keep possession, which limits the amount of chances that they give up. So, in essence, their best defense is their actually offense in possession, whether it's in the mid-block, whether it's in the attacking third. They're so good at just recycling, keeping teams running, and therefore, by the end of the game, you're maybe lucky if you had 2 shots.
Yeah. But I think we do have to trust our instincts, though, because when we came into this tournament, we did speak about it, Jimmy, as being the passing of the torch, the moment that Lamine Yamal can announce to the world that he is the next generation, the next superstar that's going to elevate this game even further. And right now, we've been kind of laying the plate for him, giving him the bly, of course, because of the injuries, giving him the chance to kind of work his way into the tournament. But we've seen the glimpses, we've seen the greatness. We know what Spain were going to do as a team, but this is really his moment. I don't care what anybody says, the scriptwriters have laid it out perfectly for him. If Lionel Messi is going to give you a bath before you're 1 year old, and now you're playing against him 19 years later in a World Cup final with the world watching in the entertainment capital of the globe, this is your chance to announce yourself.
He's about to give Messi a bath?
Oh, I'm telling you now.
Maybe.
It's a passing of the torch today.
I think what's interesting is that Lamine Yamal came out and said recently that I only scored 1 goal in the Euros, and we went on to win it, and everybody was talking about my performance there. I've scored only 1 goal in this game. So in some ways, I think he's taking a little bit of pressure off of himself. Also, another thing to keep in mind, Argentina had 2 epic comebacks so far in this tournament, both in covered stadiums, air-conditioned stadiums, both in Atlanta, both, you know, scoring a bunch of goals after the 75th minute. To your point, Chuck, if Spain can get them tired, I don't know if Argentina's going to have the energy after 75 minutes to really generate the action that they're going to need to maybe get back in the game.
Weather's not going to play a factor in this.
We'll see.
Do we see England-France yesterday?
Well, they decided not to defend.
They said, well, let's just attack.
That's like an NBA All-Star game. It was an All-Star game.
That's in Miami, you know? So
it's like watching Ian Joy play defense.
Just watch out for that discipline. Watch out for that discipline. Jimmy, 2 feet here, mate. 2 feet here. Just like the old days, Jimmy. We're throwing it back to 2008 in a minute here.
All right, Charlie, will the winner of this match, if it's Spain with Lamine Yamal or Argentina with Messi, will the winner win the Ballon d'Or?
So if Argentina win, Messi will win Ballon d'Or for me, because he's been the best player of this tournament. And this tournament, everything is, the stock from this tournament weighs heavily when making the Ballon d'Or selection. So I think for me, he wins Ballon d'Or. Now, if Spain win, Lamine Yamal, I'm not so sure he would win Ballon d'Or, because he hasn't been anything uniquely special for Spain in this tournament, because Rodri has shined, Pedro Porro has shined, Cucurella has shined, Kubarsi might win best young player in this tournament because he's been phenomenal.
Yeah, he's been brilliant.
So it's not for me to say, hey, Lamine Yamal would win this tournament, because you could look at the 3rd place game as well. Mbappe shined, you know, Jude Bellingham shined. So there are a number of players that I think would take away from Lamine Yamal winning Ballon d'Or, even if Spain win.
Do you agree with that, JD?
I believe that you have to still consider what they're doing in their club teams. And I think Lamine has had let's say a good season, a great season, maybe not the highest for his standards as to what he's produced, but it's still effective in his own right. So I think it's Messi's to win, no doubt about it, in terms of if he goes through and he completes the job. And of course, back-to-back, being a World Cup champion is something that's unprecedented.
Hey, listen,
so,
you're spending too much time with that netball stuff, man. You're not watching some Major League Soccer?
I'm watching
Messi's
it.
still tearing it up.
No, Messi is definitely still tearing it up, and I didn't want to give him his flowers because what he has showcased within this is people have questioned whether or not he could go from the MLS to playing on the world stage. No, he's still very much one of the best players, if not the best player in the world.
I wonder if that was strategically planned, that he came to Major League Soccer to give himself the best opportunity to get acclimatized to, obviously, the way of life here in the United States of America. Also, maybe a bit of a slower tempo for him as well, because all of a sudden, in this competition, 65% of the game he's walking around, and he only needs that little burst to be able to turn a game. It's really spectacular
But
to
that
watch
burst
this guy.
is still sensational. It's still a 10 out of 10.
39 years old, he's like Jimmy Conrad.
Yeah,
man, on the
easy.
burst.
Well, okay, that's probably true. I'll agree with that. It's interesting, though, an MLS player winning a Ballon d'Or, that would be next level.
That would be next
Because
level.
technically he won it as an MLS player when he
Right.
won the award because
Yep.
he was contractually signed to Miami. But now, having played a few seasons in MLS and winning Ballon d'Or, that sets a new precedent, right?
Yeah.
It's never been done. So, again, to your point, Messi has been sensational. I don't think anyone doubted it, per se, but a lot of people would say if you go to MLS, your quality will no doubt drop because the level of play, the intensity is not as high as it is participating in Champions League. Well, that's a lie now. He's proven it. And he's proven that he's fit. He's playing 90 minutes every game, 120 minutes. Messi is the king of this tournament. And now he's coming home. He wants to show, hey, I'm not going to lose 2 finals. 1 maybe, not 2.
Right, should we move on to who has the edge then, Jimmy? You're going to walk us position by position. Spain
Yeah, I look
versus
forward to getting into
Argentina.
this.
Starting off with the goalies.
Goalkeepers, Unai Simon has been excellent. Only faced 10 shots on goal this whole tournament, so maybe it's not just him. Obviously, it's the collective in front of him. I feel like Emi Martinez, with the experience being a previous World Cup winner, being good in penalties as well, I'm going to give Emi Martinez the nod of the goalkeeper
Yeah, I
position.
like that.
Yeah.
Everybody agree with that?
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so then we'll go to the right back position. Yeah, we'll just start there, okay? So, I guess it's just goalkeeper and defense overall.
I would just go goalkeeper separate from defense.
Okay, yeah, right.
Goalkeeper.
So back line-
we give it to Argentina. Back line, it's got to be Spain, no?
It's got to be Spain. Yeah, I mean, I think the
100%.
only one that I would maybe consider putting in from Argentina is Christian Romero. He kind of leads the world
Yeah,
in
but who
the
you taking
dark
out?
arts.
Who you taking out?
I would take out
Laporte, or you
Laporte.
Would you really?
Yeah, I'd keep Kubarsi in.
They both.
Cucurella has
they
been
both
excellent.
have
Poro just
similar
scored in the
roles
last
for
game.
Spain, I
So
think,
Jimmy, the most important question is who are you giving the edge to? Who's getting the mark? Like, are you giving it? Are you giving it?
Well, I just named three Spain players over one and
Okay.
2 Argentina players. So
Okay.
Spain is going to get the edge there. Everybody feeling good about that?
100%.
Yeah.
All right.
Midfield, Spain.
Spain. You got Rodri,
Not even
Olmo,
close. It's not-
Fabian Ruiz.
And this one, as great as Argentina have been, because we're talking about Rodri
He's
for sure.
looking like
right?
his best,
Now,
by the way.
now, by the way, Pedri was the guy.
Yes.
Now he's off.
Yes.
Because Fabian Ruiz. But maybe we could see Pedri in the final. Who knows, right? That could be a tactical change. And Dani Olmo has played as more of a advanced number 10, if you will. But they have, as a collective, been phenomenal because they control the tempo, which limits teams' opportunities to get.
Yeah, the way they did that against France, Chuck, was
Point
unbelievable.
three. A 0.3.
But to balance it, though,
XG. That's phenomenal.
Enzo scored some big goals in this tournament.
He has.
Turned up in some big moments.
Yeah.
Like Argentina's midfield, some people have had their question marks over it, but in certain situations they've come through. Alexis McAllister's had a good tournament. Could have got a couple of
Perez
goals.
has been okay.
Could have scored a couple of goals against England.
So I don't think you can say that Alexis McAllister.
You don't think so?
It was good against
England,
You're going to tell me
definitely.
you're going to tell me
She was a
Spain
driving
doesn't
force.
check that box?
No, I'm not saying Spain doesn't check that box. I'm
Okay,
just trying to add
Spain
balance.
gets the
I'm
edge
just trying to
there.
add balance.
Spain are checking
And
that box. Attack.
With regard to
Attack
attack,
for me, it's Argentina.
it's Argentina. Yeah,
Well,
we
this
agree.
is, this is Jimmy's.
Well, no, I know, I understand that, and I love that.
Production meeting, it was me, but it's fine.
Hey,
Maybe you missed your memo, but it's okay.
we've had a lot
So,
of
Chuck, we have to say
changes.
attack.
Charlie?
We'll share the responsibility.
Yeah, we still got 2 hours.
That's what I was
You're
doing. I'm
spicy,
working
real
with my
soon.
guys.
Yeah, working with
team,
the good.
I
But no,
prepared for
it's
this, 'cause it
definitely
wasn't the
Messi,
rundown.
Julian Alvarez. They've just been sharper. You got Lautaro coming off the bench. Mikel Oyarzabal, very solid, getting on the end of stuff. Very good system guy, I would say.
Yep.
But overall, yeah, I think it has to go to Argentina.
I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? Especially when it's like a 15-minute burst in a game. You've got Argentina switching it on. It doesn't matter who the opponent is. They've obviously been under a lot of pressure where there was a couple of games, Cabo Verde and Egypt. We thought, they're out here. This is it. The world champions are out. that push of the button changes the game.
And Nico
completely.
Williams not being available for Spain,
Yeah, that changes
I think
the
for me,
equation.
Had Nico Williams been flourishing and playing every match, and that special partnership he has with Lamine Yamal,
I wonder
it's
if he
so
starts
dynamic.
today, Chuck.
Yeah, that could be another one. That could be another change that maybe Argentina's not quite prepared for.
Baena wasn't too good in the last game.
No.
All right, okay, so you've got that one attack
Argentina.
manager now.
Man, this is probably
this
the
is
biggest
good.
coin flip.
This is
I've been
good.
back and forth on this, Chuck.
You have? I believe that there was actually one.
Well, Scaloni's
manager.
won 3 major trophies,
I'm intrigued,
but
Jimmy.
De La Fuente.
Oh, where are you going?
Yeah, you
I'm going to
make
go
it-
with Scaloni.
No.
Why are you all saying no?
Because it's the teacher and the student. Like, De La Fuentes has passed on all the advice. They've
get
been
it.
on the same
Yeah, but
coaching.
everything Scaloni's won.
If Scaloni has gone into
Right.
my classroom...
Won. He's won already.
37
Wait,
games
he's won it
unbeaten.
already.
They don't lose games.
Wait. If Scaloni has come into my classroom and I've taught you in terms of the system, I can
Okay.
see elements of Scaloni in what
Okay.
he's taken from De La Fuentes. Like,
Okay.
De La Fuentes is a system manager, but also understands something in terms
I'm
of as a head
intrigued
coach.
to hear the reason.
Okay,
There's a
listen.
marination what he's done with all of these youth teams. to take
Spain
them
has not
through.
been down yet in this tournament.
That's a good thing.
Okay, but they have not yet suffered. Argentina have suffered in 2 different games and have found ways to come back into it, and we could argue that's due to Scaloni making the right changes to
Yep.
make that happen.
Jimmy
Good point.
Conrad.
Good point.
De La
Jimmy-
Fuente has not yet he hasn't had to make those decisions.
Jimmy, I could suffer too if Lionel Messi was on my team. I could suffer too.
I get it.
If Messi was on my team as well, I could suffer. I don't mind.
It's not just that. You got to have impact from the bench. And Argentina also on a great run right now. I think they're 14 games unbeaten now. So
Hey,
we
let's
got to give
not-
credit.
let's
to
not forget about
they
Mikel
do-
Merino
They do
coming
kind
off
of
the
coach
bench.
themselves,
Yeah.
though, right?
Mikel
I mean,
Merino, Nico
Argentina have
Williams.
got
That's
that
true.
pace.
That's
They've
true.
got that ability. They coach themselves because of the leadership and experience
Wait.
on the field. So that's why I'm leaning towards
Wait.
De La Fuente.
But when you
Oh, I
talk
thought
about,
you were talking about
when you talk about
Scaloni.
brave decisions, taking Pedri, one of the star boys, out of your team, putting Fabian
You're
Ruiz
good.
in,
I'm with you.
is a
I'm with you.
brave
Argentina.
decision.
We're
going Argentina.
We're going Argentina.
Okay, we'll go to Argentina for that one.
Now
Scaloni.
mentality.
I'm going Spain.
I want Spain.
Again,
Well,
I'm
no,
going
no,
to
no,
go
no.
Argentina.
Wait, okay, hold on. Let's let these guys talk.
Final
Mentality. What are you
one?
going with mentality then? We're 2-2 right now.
Mentality all day Argentina.
All right. I agree.
Absolutely spectacular.
Okay.
The
All
way
right.
they come back in games is just
The
unbelievable. The experience they've got, obviously, the fight, the desire, the way they celebrated against England. Obviously, you can hear the accent. I absolutely loved
Okay,
it.
Of course he did.
So listen, if it goes to Argentina mentality,
Yes.
right? Now it's really going to come down to players or the coach, because Spain has the edge on the player side, on the field stuff, but the intangibles are falling to Argentina.
Mentality on the pitch, Jimmy, yeah?
Well, no, of course, a little bit of it, but in
But
terms of like,
this is-
we're
this
giving
is-
goalkeeper and defense and midfield all the
This
Spain.
is what I'll add. We've seen coaches in this World Cup really be ostracized, right?
Because they freeze.
Right, and
Deservedly so.
making the right decision.
Just say Thomas Tuchel. Just say Thomas Tuchel.
No, but I even go back to the third place game.
Yeah,
Right,
Deschamps had a
Deschamps
shocker.
in that first half, he should have made changes, and he didn't. He held off, and we've seen him doing it in a World Cup final.
Yeah.
Now Cherki comes off with a number of other players, and all of a sudden they went from losing that first half 4-0 to winning the second half 4-2. And I know they gave up too many goals; it was out of it. However, managers have a big role to play and making the right changes at the right time and making those in-game adjustments. Now, to your point, De La Fuente hasn't really been under pressure like that. And
Not yet in
again,
this
you could say
tournament.
because
In this
I got something for you. I got
you
something
could
for
say because his preparation. Now he's made
How
some
many
slight
managers
changes.
did you listen to on the pitch, Jimmy?
None.
How many
Zero.
did you,
Like-
Charlie?
like
How many
Fabi-
did you, JD? When I'm on the pitch, I didn't hear a single thing.
There's
Well, you didn't have
there's
hydration breaks
differences
before.
between preparing for a game and Fabian Ruiz, coming in, or Mikel Merino coming in, and I understand that. But Scaloni has won 3 major tournaments in a row, and if he wins this
Epic.
one, come on.
Yeah.
I would just say one thing. I know we got to go to break, and I don't want to.
We do.
But what I would say to you is, what I've learned about Argentina throughout this tournament is, you see all those fans that Nico's been speaking to, all the energy we've seen in Times Square. We felt it all the way from the country, all the way to here. Those players really understand that. They really are passionate about it. If you watch them after a game, whenever they win or they lose, they stand right in front of the fans and they embrace all of that energy.
They're all as one.
You cannot change that type of mentality. That type of energy going into a World Cup final gives you
Absolutely. Well
another
said.
lift.
And look, Spanish fans have a good reason to be happy because their team has looked outstanding all tournament. They conceded just 1 goal and kept 6 clean sheets. And everybody, our friends at SofaScore here, have shown us the best goal difference since 1970. This Spanish side sit 3rd on that list, scoring 13 goals, conceding only 1. and no champion has ever done that. So if they were to win today, that would be history-breaking. Also, everybody, Spain have the second lowest XG allowed in the last 2 World Cups with 2.15, and only Brazil beat that number in 2022. But you have to note here, Spain have made it the furthest out of all the teams listed, which is, of course, the final. So, Jimmy, Spain have conceded 1 goal all tournament.
Yes.
What makes them so difficult to score up against?
Well, Charlie mentioned it in the first segment, their possession, right? They have a lot of the ball, so that puts them in a position to wear you down in a different type of way. And their movement off the ball is excellent. So they change and interchange positions a lot, and I think that puts the other team on defense. So when they actually win it, they're tired because they've been tracking all these Spanish players. Now, what Spain does really well is their intensity of trying to win it back. Their repressing is incredible, counter-pressing, whatever you want to call it. And their intensity to try to win that back has been very high. And they're one of the best in the tournament at regaining it higher up the field than anybody else. And that makes a difference. Then you have the 2 center backs, Laporte and Cubarsí, who play a very high line. And then in front of that high line, you have Rodri, who's probably one of the best midfielders in the world at protecting a back 4. So you put all those things together, and now you got evidence as to why they're the best in the tournament.
It's the definition of suffocation. Like, they really put you into awkward situations that you're uncomfortable with. And it doesn't matter the level of opposition. What I've realized, even against world-class opposition like France, you can get suffocated by what Spain are doing to you, both on and off the ball. Because imagine if you don't ever get the football back, again, you can't hurt me if I have the football. But then it's when you do have the ball, how they put you into areas, they squeeze you into areas you don't want to play in, and you're forced to almost give it back to them. And they trust the fact that Cubarsí, Laporte, and of course Rodri are going to pick up the loose balls and know how to recycle it almost immediately. That type of system is incredible. You add in a manager who's known these players since he was 17, 18, 19.
That's a great point.
Yo, it doesn't get any better than this, because there's ultimate trust between the coaching staff, the players, in the system as well, and respect.
And to Jimmy's point, it's where they keep the ball. Yeah. So they keep the ball higher up the pitch. It's not a team that's keeping possession in their own half and then they lose it, and the next thing you know, the team's right on top of them. They keep it way up by the opposition's goal. So if you're keeping the ball in the attacking third and you're getting teams to chase and chase, by the time you lose it, they have to go 80 yards to get a shot on goal. So that's what makes them so dynamic, and everyone's worried about Lamine Yamal in that 1v1 space.
Yeah. I'll go. Belgium were the only team that put a goal past them, weren't they? France weren't even able to do that, were they, Ian? So how can Argentina kind of replicate that? What do they need to do today?
Yeah, listen, it's a fabulous question, because obviously Argentina, we've watched them now through the knockout rounds concede multiple goals, and it's been very difficult for them to try and figure it out, especially with teams sitting in that deep position, the low block, so to say, in today's, the kids are saying that at least, Jimmy. But I will say that the high pressure from Spain winning the ball over, the intensity that they get when obviously they have the opportunity to win the ball back, I don't think they need to do too much of that against Argentina. If you look at the last performance from Argentina against England, very relaxed in the first 45 minutes. There wasn't high intensity. They didn't have a lot of the ball. They allowed England to enjoy the ball. I think Argentina need to play smart. They need to know when their moments are to go. When can they actually utilize their energy? Let's not forget, this is an average age of over 30 years old for this group. So they've got to be incredibly smart, making sure that when they do use their energy, it's got to be at the right times. If Argentina are still in the game, second half, it's very close. It's 1-0 down or 0-0. I think you'll see a turn of tempo, a turn of pace, and they're going to really try and take it to Spain and really go for it.
I think what's interesting about that Argentina-England game is that England decided to high press in that first half. Argentina only had 3 touches in the opposition box. And so if Spain can do that and can consistently do it, it's going to be very hard for Spain, I think, or excuse me, Argentina to find their way into the game. Of course, they have the X factor in Leo Messi. But I found that to be really interesting. Unfortunately, for England's perspective, and I'm sorry, JD and Hannah,
it's okay.
They decided to put off the gas when they...
I'm definitely not sorry about that, Jimmy.
I'm anti-game for the next versus competition.
This is going to be a really challenging game for Argentina, because Spain is just going to pick them apart, and because they're going to be playing so high up the field, it's going to be hard for Argentina to maybe counter in a positive way.
I think people are just making it seem as if Argentina is just going to drop off and concede possession. They're a team that likes the football too.
Yeah,
so
but they're not going to do it for 90
interesting.
minutes though, Chuck.
No, not for
anymore.
90 minutes. But they're not going to just sit back like we've seen other teams say, hey, we're just going to be compact.
I don't think they can, because Spain have got quality, like you pointed out. They're a bit more offensive-minded than they were in the Euros. So they've got enough quality to be able to break Argentina down. And as we've already proven, Argentina are a little suspect defensively as well. So be careful what you wish for if you're sitting back against Spain.
Yeah, the big storyline in this one is Spain's defence versus Argentina's attack. But aside from that, what other storylines are you looking out for?
There's so many, and I know that we've kind of recycled the different storylines between us. But honestly, when I think about what we're actually looking at here, I actually want to change my storyline very quickly, just because of what we did. I know it's going to really upset our production team, but I actually am interested to see what Argentina's starting lineup looks like. And the reason I say such is because I think they've kind of realized, and I think Scaloni's realized, he needs more pace in this team. He needs to hurt this team. And if he's going to hurt this team,
absolutely,
I would turn around and... You spoke about something before, and I remember you speaking about taking out the pool and bringing out more pace in the wide areas. I personally believe that Argentina needs to, if they're going to hurt Spain, they're going to need to turn them. At some point,
Simeone stays in.
Simeone stays in. I would want to see some sort of width. Width is going to be super important today because that stretches the game. And then all of a sudden, you're giving Spain something to think about, especially in the transition. So how Argentina manage the transitions is going to be the most important storyline today because they're not going to see a lot of the football. Let's be honest about it. No one goes against Spain unless you're Chuck D, and then you don't see a lot of the football. Like, that's just how it works.
Battle, right? Simeone going up against Cucurella.
But what you want to see is that you want to see Argentina springing into attack. I've seen the teams that have hurt Spain in small elements this year has been the teams that have done well in transition. You think about Belgium's goal, it was a transition goal. You want to see Argentina inject pace into the game today, and how they manage that pace is going to turn around and tell me how successful they are.
Love that one. All right, Charlie, storyline to watch for you.
Yeah, Scaloni versus De La Fuente. For me, it's the starting lineups. Again, you're signaling to the players and to the fans what you're expecting, what you think your tactical advantage will be if Pedri starts versus Fabian Ruiz, or if Nico Williams starts instead of Baena. I also am going to be looking at Argentina. What time do they want to put in Lautaro Martinez? Will they need Lautaro Martinez to come in? How does that look? Where do you move Messi? Do you move him as like a 10, or do you keep him as a withdrawn 9? Julian Alvarez, what's his work rate like today? Because ultimately, you know what you're going to get from this Argentine midfield and the back line. You know, Molina versus Montiel at the right back. Tagliafico, it's kind of, you have to stay there. But that's going to play a huge role of who makes those decisions in the second half. And for me, that's going to be what it's going to come down to. Who's looking to make history? Who's going to go and take it versus I'm going to protect whatever position I have.
We've also recognised a lot of criticism to coaches who've got it wrong in this competition, right? Yes. They've gone back home now, and all of a sudden they're getting slaughtered by their own media.
Well, we want names.
You got to get it right.
Thomas Tuchel?
Tommy Tickle, yeah.
All right then, Jimmy, storyline to watch for you.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to take a look at the wingbacks in particular for Spain. Marc Cucurella, I think, has been excellent. He actually has 139 runs in behind the defense in this tournament. That's fifth most of any player, which means he's very vital in creating some width and to give him some threat in behind. So that's interesting. Pedro Porro scored against France, did a nice job of combining. I feel like if he gets too far forward, he's in Lamine Yamal's way. So they have to play it a little bit different on each side. So if Nico Williams starts, I wonder what that looks like for the impact that Cucurella can make. However, Spain are one of the worst counterattacking teams in this tournament. They like the build-up. They like to try to find numerical overloads in different areas of the field, and Cucurella in particular is excellent. However, he's got to keep an eye on Leo Messi, right? He's got to keep an eye on a couple other players. So I'm kind of curious as to how that's going to handcuff the wingbacks and how Argentina can keep them pinned at home.
Do you know what? That sets me up perfectly for mine. I'm going with Rodri and being back to his very best. And I even call it the Ballon d'Or best, because this Rodri is spectacular. He sort of controls the pace of the game. He sort of controls the tempo of the game for Spain when they do break forward. He also can have those defense line splitting passes, right? Passes into the final third. Chuck, you made a great point about Pedri, the change of Pedri. Never in a million years did I expect Pedri to be taking a place on this bench. But De La Fuente's brave. He's made that decision to say, no, youngster, this is the moment. Rodri looks like he's fit, he's ready to go. He's going to be controlling that midfield. And also next to Fabian Ruiz, who's never lost a game for Spain when he has performed.
It's his 50th cap, by the way.
Rodri, I know, it's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
But Rodri, for me, he controls it. 655 passes in the competition, leads the way by a mile, because they enjoy possession of the ball. He controls this team. He plays, everybody else around him also plays. So that's where Spain's performance comes from.
Do you think Argentina purposely try and take Rodri out of the game?
No, you can't.
Great
it's
point.
impossible.
I don't know if you can.
I don't think you can, because what I was going to say to you is, you know why Pedri's fallen into line? Because when you have a head coach who's worked with you from the youth system in terms of Rodri, who is the talisman of this team, who is the focal point? We can give Lamine Yamal all of the attention you want, but at the end of the day, you still haven't won a Ballon d'Or. You haven't achieved what Rodri's done so far. So he is the emotional leader of this team. And if he sets the precedent that whatever the head coach needs, I'll make sure I follow, you can't then, as a young player coming into your first World Cup, then fall out of line. That means sometimes you've got to sit on the bench and understand that somebody else is coming in because the head coach sees something else, and you have to respect
But
that.
they got to perform when they get chosen, right? And to Charlie's point there about the coaches, team selection's huge here. We might see Pedri play this game. It might be Fabian Ruiz out, but I just think that moments in games, you need the top players stepping up. And more often than not, in this competition, especially on the defensive side, then the offensive side, I don't think there's been anyone better in midfield than Rodri in this World Cup.
And that's why you have to take him out of the play. And I go back to 2009 Confederations Cup. Got to bring it up. This is for the producer in the back.
Hey, I actually haven't heard this story.
Why is that like a diss track?
Tell us this story.
Coming into that tournament, Spain had won the Euros. Similar to this team, unstoppable. They were beating everybody. Now we're in the semifinals of Confederations Cup, and we just kind of limped in. We backed into it, beating Egypt 3-0. We got lucky, but here we are. Now, Bob Bradley had a brilliant game plan because their midfield makes the game. Xabi Alonso and Xavi. Cesc Fabregas as well. My job, along with Josie, playing with two strikers, was to prevent them from receiving the ball and make it as difficult as possible for them to make the game. That's what we did.
Well,
we did it brilliantly, and we were great in the counter.
I thought you were chasing shadows there for a while.
Well, he got the ball off. I couldn't take it off Xavi. I'll tell you that right now. He was incredible. But I rushed him.
Right.
And I made him think about something.
Yeah.
And that's all you could ask for against the best players in the world.
Right.
And at that point, it worked. And we won 2-0.
Thanks for watching this video from Morning Footy. For all news and insights regarding leagues around the world like EFL, Serie A, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount+.